Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're not just going to talk about mindset, we're going to revolutionize the way you communicate with the most important person in your life. Yourself. I want you to imagine something. Picture your best friend coming to you feeling defeated, saying, "I'm such a failure, I'll never be good enough." What would you say to them? Would you pile on the criticism? Would you confirm their doubts? Absolutely not. You'd lift them up, wouldn't you? You'd remind them their strengths, their resilience, their potential. Now here's the kicker. Why don't you do that for yourself? The way you talk to yourself isn't just idle chatter. It's the foundation of your confidence, your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. If you've been harsh, dismissive, or overly critical with your self-talk, I've got news for you. It's time to rewrite the script. I challenge you to talk to yourself differently just for 3 days. 3 days to interrupt the cycle of negativity and step into new, empowering conversation with yourself. When your mind says, "I can't do this," you respond, "I'm learning how to do this." When you think, "I've failed too many times," you say, "Every failure is a stepping stone to my success." When you feel like giving up, you declare, "I am stronger than this moment." Words have power. They have energy. They can tear you down or they can lift you up. For these 3 days, every time you catch yourself spiraling into doubt or fear, I want you to stop. Interrupt that pattern. Replace it with language that speaks to your potential, not your limitations. And here's the beautiful part. When you do this, something incredible happens. You start to notice opportunities where there used to be obstacles. You begin to see yourself as capable, worthy, and resilient. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you choose to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, you're building momentum. You're training your brain to believe in the best version of you. This isn't just a feel-good exercise. Science backs it up. Positive self-talk reduces stress, boosts resilience, and rewires your brain for success. 3 days is all it takes to see the shift, to feel the difference. Here's my promise to you. If you commit to this challenge, you won't just think differently, you'll start acting differently. Your energy will change, your decisions will change, and the world around you will respond to that shift. Let me ask you this, are you ready to become your own best coach? Are you ready to speak to yourself with the same belief, compassion, and encouragement you'd offer someone you love? Because when you do, you don't just change your internal dialogue, you change your entire life trajectory. Start today. Talk to yourself like a champion. Talk to yourself like someone who's destined for greatness. And for these next 3 days, let's see what kind of magic you can create when you truly believe in you. Let's go. The way you communicate with yourself isn't just a passing thought, it's the lens through which you experience the world. Your inner voice acts as the narrator of your life, interpreting events, shaping your emotions, and ultimately influencing the actions you take. When faced with a challenge, what does that voice say to you? Does it whisper words of doubt, convincing you to hold back, or does it ignite a sense of possibility, pushing you to step forward and try? The truth is, your inner dialogue creates the framework for how you perceive every obstacle, every opportunity, and every interaction. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't do this," your mind begins to believe it, closing doors before you even reach them. On the other hand, when you affirm, "I'll figure this out," or "I have what it takes," you unlock a sense of curiosity, creativity, and resourcefulness that propels you forward. This isn't just about optimism, it's about wiring your brain to focus on solutions instead of problems. Positive self-talk doesn't ignore difficulties, it reframes them. It encourages you to see the setbacks as stepping stones and failures as valuable lessons. It turns "why me" into "what can I learn from this?" and transforms adversity into growth. Your inner voice has the power to either imprison you in fear or liberate you with courage. It's the constant companion in your head. And it influences not only how you interpret your current situation, but also how you anticipate the future. The self-talk filled with doubt makes even small challenges feel insurmountable, while empowering language makes even the tough obstacles seem conquerable. And here's the most important part. You have the ability to change this voice. You're not stuck with the script that's been running in your head. With intentional effort, you can reprogram it to align with the person you want to be and the life you want to create. Every word you say to yourself matters, because over time, those words become your reality. Words are not just sounds or scribbles on a page, they are carriers of energy. And the way you use them especially with yourself, can profoundly shape your emotional and mental state. Every word you speak to yourself carries a weight that either lifts you up or holds you down. When you choose words that affirm your abilities and potential, you plant seeds of confidence that grow stronger with every repetition. Conversely, when you use language that belittles or doubts your capabilities, you weaken your resolve and reinforce limiting beliefs. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, looking into your own eyes and saying, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up." Those words don't just fade into the air, they sink into your subconscious, shaping how you view yourself and how you approach the world. Over time, they become self-fulfilling prophecies, dictating your choices, your risks, and your outcomes. But the reverse is equally true. When you look in that same mirror and declare, "I am capable," or "I can handle this," you ignite a spark of belief within yourself. These words act as a powerful catalyst, energizing your mind and body to align with the possibility of success. They create a ripple effect that extends beyond the moment you speak them, influencing how you handle challenges and pursue opportunities. The energy of your words doesn't just affect your mind, it impacts your physiology. When you use empowering language, you stand taller, breathe deeper, and move with greater purpose. When you use disempowering language, your shoulders slump, your energy drains, and your actions hesitate. The words you choose set the tone for how you show up in every area of your life. And here's the most remarkable part. You have the ability to choose. Every single day you decide whether your words will serve as tools to build yourself up or weapons to tear yourself down. It's not always easy to change the script, especially if you've been using the same disempowering language for years, but the effort is worth it. Because the moment you begin to speak to yourself with intention and kindness, you reclaim the power that's always been yours. Negative patterns in our self-talk often creep in unnoticed, but they have a profound impact on our lives. They are like invisible barriers that prevent us from moving forward, creating an internal dialogue that limits our potential and keeps us trapped in cycles of self-doubt. These patterns can manifest as small whispers in your mind, thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," "this is too hard," or "I always mess up." Over time, these thoughts begin to dominate, shaping how you view yourself and the world around you. But the moment you recognize them, you hold the power to stop them in their tracks. The key to interrupting these patterns is awareness. Often we are so accustomed to our negative self-talk that we don't even notice it happening. It becomes automatic, like an old habit running in the background. But when you become aware of the language you use, you gain the ability to shift it. The next time you hear a thought that diminishes your worth, you can catch it before it spirals into a self-sabotaging belief. For example, when you find yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed at this," stop and ask yourself, is that really true? Is there any evidence to support that thought, or is it simply a fear-based assumption? By questioning the validity of these thoughts, you disrupt their power. You force yourself to confront the truth. Most of the time, these negative beliefs are not facts, they are stories we tell ourselves. The key is to break the momentum of negativity. If you catch yourself thinking, "I'm terrible at this," replace it with, "I'm learning and each attempt brings me closer to success." If the thought is, "This is too overwhelming," shift it to, "I am capable of handling this one step at a time." The more you interrupt these negative patterns and replace them with empowering language, the less control they have over you. This isn't about suppressing your feelings or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about recognizing that your self-talk plays a powerful role in how you approach those challenges. By halting the cycle of self-sabotage, you create space for a more constructive and resilient mindset. It takes practice, but each time you catch and replace a negative thought, you're training your mind to embrace possibility instead of defeat. The goal is to create a new, healthier narrative, one where your thoughts support your growth, not hold you back. Every time you choose to interrupt negativity, you build the mental strength to handle whatever comes your way with a renewed sense of power and purpose. The 3-day challenge is a simple yet powerful way to reset the way you think about yourself and the world around you. For just 3 days, you commit to shifting your internal dialogue to one that is intentionally empowering. It might sound like a small commitment, but the truth is that in those 3 days, you can lay the foundation for a lasting transformation. It's a concentrated burst of effort, a short-term experiment to help you realize the immense power of the words you speak to yourself. This challenge isn't about perfection. It's about awareness and consistency. For 3 days, you're going to actively choose words that lift you up, words that fuel confidence and belief. Every time a negative thought creeps in, you stop it and replace it with something positive, something motivating. It might feel a bit awkward at first, like wearing new shoes, but over those 3 days, you will start to notice the shift. Why 3 days? Because the human brain is incredibly responsive to repetition. And within this time frame, you'll start to rewire the automatic negative patterns that might have been holding you back. 3 days is enough to create momentum, to break the cycle of doubt and fear. By consciously choosing empowering thoughts and affirmation, you're teaching your mind that you are in control, not the circumstances or the external noise around you. This 3-day commitment is also about proving to yourself that change is possible and that you are worthy of the best version of yourself. During this time, every word you say to yourself matters, every thought counts. If you mess up, don't berate yourself, simply reset and continue with the challenge. Each time you correct your course, you're reinforcing the new neural pathways of positivity and resilience. At the end of those 3 days, you'll have experienced a tangible shift in how you think about yourself and your challenges. You'll be more aware of the language you use, and you'll notice how much easier it becomes to replace self-doubt with self-belief. You'll also see the impact this shift has on your actions and your energy. The way you show up for your life will start to reflect the empowering words you've been speaking to yourself. 3 days may seem like a brief moment, but those 72 hours will show you the power of intentional self-talk. It's a small investment with the potential for massive returns. The goal isn't to be perfect in those 3 days. It's to build a new habit, to start a journey of self-empowerment that can continue long after the challenge is over. Too often we get trapped in the story of our past, the mistakes we've made, the opportunities we've missed, the times we've fallen short. These moments, if we allow them, can define our sense of self-worth and cloud our vision for the future. But the truth is, your past does not dictate your future unless you allow it to. Every time you speak to yourself, you have a choice. You can either focus on your limitations or you can choose to speak to your potential, the person you are becoming, not the one you've been. When you focus on your limitations, you reinforce the belief that who you are today is all you will ever be. You highlight the areas where you feel inadequate, where you've struggled, and you allow those thoughts to become your identity. But when you choose to speak to your potential, you redirect your energy toward growth, possibility, and transformation. You acknowledge that your current situation is not your destination. It is simply a stepping stone on the path to who you are becoming. Imagine what would happen if, instead of saying, "I've always struggled with this," you say, "I am learning and growing in this area." You immediately shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You stop seeing challenges as evidence of your shortcomings and start seeing them as opportunities to evolve, to expand, to improve. Your self-talk becomes a reflection of the person you want to be, not the one who is stuck in the past or trapped by fear. When you speak to your potential, you start to see yourself not as a collection of past mistakes, but as a work in progress, a dynamic force capable of achieving incredible things. It's about acknowledging where you are without letting it define who you will become. Your limitations are only temporary, and they are not permanent labels. They're simply experiences you can learn from, lessons that can guide you to create greater strength and wisdom. Focusing on your potential means embracing the belief that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. It means recognizing that every setback is an opportunity to rise higher, to become stronger, and to demonstrate your resilience. When you speak to your potential, you honor the person you are becoming, and you empower yourself to take bold actions that align with that vision. So ask yourself, how would you talk to someone you deeply care about who is struggling? You would encourage them to keep going, to not let past failures define their worth. You would remind them of their strength, their courage, and their capability. Why not do the same for yourself? Affirmations are not just words, they are anchors that tie you to the positive energy and mindset that propel you toward growth. In a world where challenges can easily overshadow our sense of possibility, affirmations serve as a reminder of who we truly are and what we are capable of. They act as a tool to ground you in a mindset of possibility, especially when doubt and negativity try to take hold. By repeating affirmations, you reinforce beliefs that align with the person you are becoming, not the person you were in the past. They act as a powerful daily practice to align your thoughts, energy, and actions with your goals and aspirations. When you use affirmations, you are actively training your mind to focus on what is possible, not on what seems impossible. Think of them as your internal compass directing you toward positivity and growth, no matter how chaotic or uncertain your external circumstances may be. They give you a sense of direction, a foundation upon which you can build your self-belief, even in moments when everything around you feels uncertain or overwhelming. Affirmations work by reprogramming your subconscious mind, helping you to break free from limiting beliefs that hold you back and replacing that supports that support your potential and success. The magic of affirmations lies in their ability to reshape how you see yourself in the world. Every time you say, "I am capable of handling anything that comes my way," or "I am worthy of success," you're planting seeds of empowerment that grow and flourish over time. These words hold power beyond their immediate meaning. They create a ripple effect in how you approach your day, your tasks, and your relationships. When you consistently anchor yourself in these positive thoughts, you begin to make decisions from a place of strength, not fear. You start to see solutions instead of obstacles, possibilities instead of limitations. Affirmations also help you maintain a growth-oriented mindset. Life is full of ups and downs, but when you anchor yourself in affirmations that focus on possibility, you stop seeing failures as setbacks and start seeing them as valuable learning experiences. When you affirm every challenge is an opportunity for growth, you open yourself up to resilience. You stop fearing mistakes and instead embrace them as part of your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. In moments of doubt, when negative thoughts start to creep in and threaten to derail your progress, affirmations are there to pull you back into alignment with your highest self. They remind you of the strength and resources you already possess. They serve as a constant source of support. A daily practice that keeps you grounded in the belief that you are capable of achieving whatever you set your mind to. The beauty of affirmations is that they can be personalized to fit your needs, desires, and goals. You can create affirmations that align with your vision of success, whether it's in career, relationships, health, or personal growth. And the more you repeat them, the more you begin to live them. Affirmations create a momentum of positivity that becomes a self-sustaining force in your life, driving you forward even when the road gets tough. Incorporating affirmations into your daily routine doesn't require hours of meditation or special techniques. It simply requires commitment to speak life into your own potential. You can say them in the morning to set the tone for your day, or whenever you feel the need to recalibrate and remind yourself of what's possible. When you anchor yourself in positivity, you create a foundation for success that no external force can shake. The phrase "one can't" is often a declaration of limitation, a statement that closes the door on possibilities before even attempting to open it. It's a phrase that reflects a fixed mindset, one that sees ability as something static and unchangeable. But the truth is, "I can't" is never the final word. It's simply an indication that you haven't yet figured it out, and that's where the power of shifting your language comes in. By transforming "I can't" into "I'm learning to," you unlock an entirely new perspective on growth and achievement. When you say "I can't do this," you're shutting down your potential before you've given yourself a chance. You're telling yourself that you're not capable of doing something, and often that you shouldn't even try. But when you change that language to "I'm learning to," you open up a world of possibility. You acknowledge that you may not have mastered the skill yet, but you are on a journey, and every step, every effort, every attempt is part of the learning process. This simple shift transforms the focus from what you lack to what you're in the process of gaining. "I'm learning" speaks to progress, not perfection. It takes the pressure off of having immediate success and allows space for growth. It recognizes that the path to mastery is paved with practice, mistakes, and persistence. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to see challenges not as barriers, but as opportunities to expand your abilities. You stop defining yourself by what you cannot do and instead define yourself by your willingness to evolve. Every "I'm learning" that becomes an affirmation of your potential, showing you that growth is a process, not a destination. This shift from a fixed mindset to a growth-oriented mindset is transformative. A fixed mindset is rooted in fear, the fear of failure, the fear of looking incompetent, the fear of not measuring up. It limits your potential because it makes you believe that you are either good at something or not, that you can either succeed or fail. But a growth mindset, one that embraces "I'm learning to," is rooted in curiosity, resilience, and openness. It sees every challenge as an invitation to improve, and every failure as a lesson in the making. When you tell yourself "I'm learning to," you make room for experimentation. You give yourself permission to try, fail, and try again, knowing that each attempt brings you closer to mastery. This mindset is the fuel for perseverance. It allows you to keep going even when the process is slow or difficult, because you understand that learning isn't linear and progress doesn't always look the way you expect it to. This shift also frees you from the trap of comparison. In a fixed mindset, you might look at others and think, "They're so much better than I am at this." You may feel discouraged or defeated because you're measuring yourself against someone else's progress. But when you say "I'm learning to," you stop comparing yourself to others and instead measure your progress against where you started. You start to see success in every step forward, no matter how small it seems. Changing "I can't" to "I'm learning to" requires patience and compassion with yourself. It means understanding that it's okay not to have all the answers and that it's okay to stumble along the way. It's about embracing the process, trusting that each challenge is helping you grow into a more capable, resilient, and knowledgeable version of yourself. This shift in language doesn't just change the way you talk to yourself, it changes the way you approach life. It allows you to embrace challenges with a sense of adventure. rather than fear. Knowing that every effort is part of your growth. I'm learning to turn obstacles into stepping stones and setbacks into powerful lessons. It creates the space for your potential to expand beyond what you ever thought possible. In a world that often focuses on end results, it's easy to overlook the significance of the small steps you take along the way. So often we find ourselves fixating on perfection, on the end goal, believing that anything short of that is a failure. But true growth doesn't happen in leaps and bounds. It's the accumulation of small, incremental progress that leads to lasting change. That's why it's crucial to celebrate progress, not perfection. By doing so, you acknowledge the effort, dedication, and growth you've already experienced instead of waiting for some distant, flawless outcome. When your self-talk celebrates the progress you've made, you shift your focus from what hasn't been achieved yet to what you have already accomplished. This doesn't mean you don't have goals or aspirations, but it means you start to appreciate the journey just as much as the destination. Small wins are not trivial, they are the building blocks that lead to large successes. Each step forward, no matter how small it may seem, is a victory in itself. Whether it's overcoming a self-doubt, learning something new, or sticking with a task for longer than you thought you could, these moments deserve to be celebrated. When your self-talk acknowledges progress, it fuels momentum. Celebrating even the smallest steps forward keeps you engaged, motivated, and enthusiastic about continuing on your path. If your inner dialogue only highlights what you haven't yet achieved, you may begin to feel discouraged and disheartened, which can halt your progress altogether. However, when you recognize and celebrate each milestone, you build a sense of pride and accomplishment. This creates a positive feedback loop where your successes, big and small, propel you to keep moving forward with energy and confidence. It's important to remember that perfection is an unrealistic standard that only stifles progress. Perfection is not the measure of success, consistent effort is. When you focus solely on perfection, you may miss out on the richness of the process. The small wins are often where the real growth happens in the learning and the overcoming and the persistence. When you celebrate progress, you acknowledge the value of every effort, every lesson learned, and every bit of personal development. It's not about getting everything perfect, it's about becoming better with each step. And that's something worth recognizing. As you begin to recognize and celebrate your progress, you create a mindset that is more focused on possibility than on perfection. You stop worrying about whether or not you're doing it perfectly. And instead you ask yourself, what have I learned so far? What am I doing right? This shift in perspective changes how you approach your goals. You start to see progress as a series of small victories that add up to big results. It becomes about the journey of growth, not just the final destination. Celebrating progress also strengthens your resilience. Every time you acknowledge a small win, you reinforce the belief that you're capable of more. Even on days when you face setbacks, reminding yourself of how far you've come helps you stay grounded and focused. It's easy to feel defeated if you only measure your progress by the distance between where you are and where you want to be. But by celebrating progress, you start to see just how much you've already accomplished. And that gives you the strength to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles arise. The key is to shift your self-talk from a place of judgment to one of encouragement. Instead of beating yourself up over what you haven't done, cheer yourself on for the progress you have made. Recognize that success isn't about achieving perfection in one grand moment, but about taking consistent steps toward your goals, learning from your experiences, and growing with each challenge. When you celebrate your progress, you honor the effort, and that recognition becomes the fuel that propels you toward even greater achievements. Imagine you are coaching someone you love, someone you deeply care about, your partner, your child, a close friend, or even a mentor. How would you speak to them when they are struggling? When they feel discouraged, do you tell them they're not good enough or that they'll never make it? Of course not. You would lift them up, encourage them, and remind them of their strengths. You would tell them that setbacks are part of the journey, that failure doesn't define them, and that they have everything inside of them to overcome the challenge. You would be kind, patient, and understanding. You would speak to them with the same love, respect, and belief in their potential that you would show anyone you cherish. Now ask yourself, why aren't you speaking to yourself in the same way? Too often, we are our own harshest critics. We judge ourselves for mistakes, berate ourselves for not being perfect, and convince ourselves that we aren't worthy of success. We talk to ourselves in a way that we would never tolerate from anyone else, let alone someone we care about. The truth is, you deserve the same level of compassion, encouragement, and support that you would give to someone you love deeply. To be your own best coach, you must shift the way you talk to yourself. When you face challenges, instead of saying, I'm not good enough or I'll never get this right, try asking yourself, what can I learn from this? When you feel overwhelmed, don't beat yourself up for feeling stuck. Instead, encourage yourself with it's okay to struggle. I'm capable of getting through this, and every step forward counts. You must become your own biggest supporter, your own cheerleader, your own sounding board, your own voice of reason. Being your own best coach also means speaking to yourself with empathy. Just as you would listen and offer kind words of encouragement to someone else, listen to your inner voice. Recognize when you're being hard on yourself and shift your perspective. Think about how you would comfort someone you love during tough times. What would you say to reassure them? Whatever words you would use, try saying them to yourself. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel uncertain or anxious, and that growth comes with time, effort, and persistence. Self-coaching also involves creating a mindset rooted in possibility rather than limitation. Instead of focusing on your shortcomings, speak to your potential. Remind yourself of past victories, of challenges you've overcome, and of how far you've come. Just like a great coach encourages their athlete to focus on progress and effort, not just results, you must recognize the power of your journey. Celebrate the small wins along the way and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. When you speak to yourself as your own best coach, you help reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving great things. You remove self-doubt from the equation and replace it with confidence, determination, and resilience. You give yourself the same encouragement that you would give to someone you care about, which empowers you to keep going even when things get tough. Being your own best coach means showing yourself the same grace and belief in your potential that you would offer anyone you want to see succeed. And the more you do this, the more you'll realize that you are, in fact, capable of achieving everything you set your mind to. Your environment has a profound impact on your mindset, your energy, and your ability to grow. Whether you realize it or not, the people, the media, the overall atmosphere you immerse yourself in play a huge role in shaping how you see the world, and most importantly, how you see yourself. Toxic influences, whether they come from negative people, discouraging voices, or a constant stream of negativity, can subtly seep into your consciousness and begin to affect your own thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. They cloud your ability to stay focused on your goals and drain your energy, making it harder to maintain a positive and productive mindset. Guarding against toxic influences starts with awareness. You need to become attuned to the voices and energies around you, whether they are physical, emotional, or even virtual. Are the people you spend time with constantly negative, complaining, or draining? Do they make you feel small, less capable, or doubt your potential? And so their energy is not only unproductive, it is actively limiting your growth. You must protect yourself by setting boundaries, choosing to spend your time and energy with those who uplift, inspire, and encourage you. Surround yourself with people who see the best in you, who challenge you to be better, and who support your dreams rather than undermining them. But it's not just the people around you, it's the media you consume and the environment you immerse yourself in. The news, social media, and the content you engage with daily can be a source of negativity, fear, and limitation. Constant exposure to negative headlines, toxic debates, or self-defeating content can slowly begin to infiltrate your own mindset, making it harder to remain optimistic and focused on the positive aspects of your life. You must consciously choose what you allow into your mind and guard against the noise that brings you down. This means curating the media you consume, whether it's following accounts that inspire you, watching content that promotes growth, or avoiding news and outlets that leave you feeling anxious or disempowered. It's not just about protecting your mind, it's about creating an environment that nurtures your growth. This involves surrounding yourself with things, people, and experiences that elevate your vibration. Declutter your space and fill it with reminders of your goals, your passions, and your strengths. Surround yourself with beauty, inspiration, and anything that reinforces your belief in your potential. If your physical surroundings are chaotic or negative, it will be harder for you to feel calm and focused. A positive environment supports a positive mindset, so choose one that aligns with the future you are creating. You also need to guard against toxic self-talk. While external influences can drain you, negative thoughts and limiting beliefs from within can be just as destructive. Often we're our own worst enemies, doubting our abilities and reinforcing the idea that we are incapable of success. But just as you guard against external negativity, you must also protect your inner world. Replace self-criticism with self-encouragement, replace fear with faith, and replace doubt with confidence. Every time a negative thought surfaces, challenge it. Recognize it for what it is, a fleeting moment of weakness, not a permanent truth. Your internal dialogue is just as important as the people you choose to be around, because it shapes your reality just as much. When you consciously surround yourself with positivity and eliminate toxic influences, you create space for your best self to emerge. You allow yourself to be influenced by the kind of energy that nurtures your dreams and your goals. You become more resilient to negativity, more focused on what's possible, and more empowered to take action toward the life you desire. It's not about isolating yourself from the world, it's about consciously choosing the influences that align with your highest vision for yourself. Guarding against toxic influences is not just a protective measure, it's a proactive toward creating an environment where you can thrive, grow, and reach your full potential. As you move forward from this moment, remember that the way you talk to yourself is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Your thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your actions. Every word you say to yourself is an opportunity to build yourself up or tear yourself down. So choose wisely. Speak with power, with love, with encouragement, and with the understanding that you are capable of more than you can even imagine. You have the ability to transform your reality, to rewrite the script of your life, and to create a future that excites you. It all starts with your self-talk. By speaking to yourself like the greatest coach, the most loving friend, and the most encouraging ally, you can break free from limitations and tap into your boundless potential. Now, I challenge you to take this on, to commit to speaking to yourself with the belief that you are capable, worthy, and powerful. For just 3 days, start with small, intentional shifts in your language. Celebrate your progress, guard against negativity, and speak to your potential, not your limitations. What you say to yourself will shape what you believe is possible. And what you believe is possible will shape the incredible life you create. The power is in your words, and the time to lock that power is now. You are ready for the next step. Let your words propel you toward the greatness that's already within you. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and watch my video. Thank you.